Hello and welcome to A Cat in the Garden. These are my houseplant favorites for the month of May. Now honestly, we're just gonna get right to it and we're gonna start off strong with a plant that I have featured in my favorites before, I'm pretty sure at least once or twice, but that's because it's an amazing plant. So that is my Philodendron Rio, and she has just grown so much since I put her on a pole. Look at how absolutely stunning this plant is. There are multiple growth points that are just growing up the pole on their own now. They don't need any help from me. They don't need any Velcro. They're just doing their thing, and the leaf size has really started to increase dramatically. Here is my hand for reference with the newest leaf on the tallest part of the stem, and I really just love how easygoing this plant is. It's such a joy to have, even when I'm having issues with a lot of the house plants, whether if I found a pest or if I rotted a plant or whatever. I can always come back and be like, I'm not a terrible plant mom because this plant is doing amazing. So that is going to be the first one on my 5 favorites this month. The next plant on my list is a new one. I have not shown you guys this plant before, and I'm very excited about it. So that is going to be my Hoya Angelotta. Did I spill any pond? No, I didn't. We're good. So this is a crusty boy, and the leaves are massive. I got this from a local friend recently, and I am very excited about it. It is actually pushing out new growth. So there's 2 leaves coming the bottom of the vine here, and then 1 growing here. It came with this long runner. I put it near my window over here, and it seems to be loving life. As you guys know, I am no expert of growing plants in pond, but it's in this special self-watering container. Let me see. So there's like 2 parts, and there's a wick. You can kind of see roots coming out of the bottom there and attaching themselves to the wick. And it's got this little thing here that'll tell me when there's no water left in the reservoir. So I am hoping I can keep it happy in pond, because transitioning a plant out of pond into another medium isn't always fun because you got to get all the pond off the roots and whatnot. So I would rather just let this gorgeous plant be, let it live its life. Hopefully it gives me some extra crusty leaves because I love it. I love the prehistoric vibe. This has been on my wish list forever, and I am just so happy to have it, and that's why it made the list this month. The third plant on my list is much smaller, and that is going to be this adorable little Anthurium. I think I featured it before, maybe even last month, but I don't care because it's so cute. So it's a Dock Block F2 crossed with Silver Blush. This is the most recent leaf that it gave me, but it is working on a little baby right there, if you can see. Right there, and I am so excited. I love watching little Anthurium leaves grow. I love getting them as babies and watching them size up into full plants. It is better too if you don't have super high humidity, which they normally like. If you get them as babies and have them grow up in your environment, they're more likely to acclimate to the lower humidity, and so that works out really well for me because Texas is really dry in the summer and I am just too lazy to use big humidifiers in here. Plus I have to leave the door open all the time. This is where the cat's litter box lives, is in this room. So I just can't have humidity above like 60 to 70%. And they seem to be doing okay. This one lives in one of my mini Target greenhouses, and it seems to do really well. And I'm just really happy with it. It's doing great, and I'm excited to see what the mature leaves look like as it grows, and once it gets a little bit bigger, I will put it in a pot with no drainage too, so I don't have to water it quite as often. The 4th plant of my 5 favorites this month is also a slightly newer one, though I've had it for about a month and a half now, and that is going to be my Philodendron Splendid. I am so excited about this plant. It has been a lot more easy care than Melanochrysum ever was for me. As you guys know, I am the #1 hater of Melanochrysum probably in the world. I cannot stand them. They're beautiful plants when they're looking right, but they kind of grow stupid. But not this one. So I got it as a birthday present from my in-laws. So if you're watching this, in-laws, I love it, thank you. It has already put out this leaf for me since I got it, and it is working on another one here. I made sure to put it up on a pole as soon as it was done in quarantine. I have been getting better about quarantining new plants that arrive. I used to not do that, and then I got spider mites a couple years ago. So we do that. Luckily, this plant was super healthy and cute, and I am very excited to see if it will increase the size of the leaves from being on this pole. So far, they're looking semi-mature, I would say. This definitely isn't like a baby cutting or anything. It's doing really well, and I am also looking out to see if it will attach itself to the pole. So far it hasn't, but like I said, it's only grown 1.5 leaves for me, so I'm really just waiting to see. But in general, it's been super easy care so far. I put it in a sort of chunky mossy mix. I used a lot of orchid bark, leca, moss, perlite, things like that. And then we have the moss pole here, and it's been doing really well so far. So that is going to be why it's on my favorite plants this month. Lastly, the final plant is a plant that was growing really well when I first got it, and then it stopped. And I was really worried because this is a very special plant to me. But it recently started growing again, so I figured I would feature it, and that is going to be my Hoya Crinkle Ace. If I can show it in a good way, here we go. If you can see it, I know there's like a glare from my window, but this is a super splashy Crinkle 8, which is why I'm considering it a sport find, because I have never seen a Crinkle 8 with so much splash before in my life. I don't think it's like a widely common thing, so I'm considering it a sport. It was really tiny when I first got it. Like, it was in this size container. I actually got it from the same place, and it did not flow like this at all. Did not have a lot of size to it, and it stopped growing at about this point, and then it recently put out these 5 leaves, so I am very happy with it. I'm just gonna try and show you all up close as much of the plant as I can. This has been super easygoing. Obviously, it's a carnosa type Hoya, so it's pretty common, the regular Crinkle 8, in households. There's not too much to say about it other than I've been pretty good about fertilizing it. I've been okay about watering it. When I was sick, it did not get watered for a while, but that's when it started growing, so maybe it doesn't want as much water as I was giving it before. And there is this non-splashy side over here, but honestly, who cares about that when your plant is so splashy over here? So that's gonna be sort of the lowdown on the Crinkle 8 splash. I'm loving it. I really think it wants a bigger home soon. It just looks weird having that small of a little container for a plant this big, but you know, it is what it is. If it's not root bound, maybe I don't need to repot it yet. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling, but it's really happy, really healthy, and that's why it made the list this month. So that is it for my 5 favorite plants for the month of May. Nutmeg's not his favorite, but that's okay. If you like this video, make sure to give us a thumbs up down below and subscribe so you don't miss anything from me and the kitties. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you in the next one.